we've graphed these, right? We've done substitution. We've done elimination. Now we're going to throw them into some word problems. Okay? Now, the first thing that you always have to do in order to do the word problems is you need to figure out what's going to be X and what's going to be Y. Okay? So it says, in 1 week, a music store sold 7 violins for a total of $1,600. 2 different types of violins were sold. Anybody in orchestra? You are not. Okay? Well, let's say there's 2 different kinds. Let's name our 2 different kinds of violins. Let's go Eckroth and Schmidt. They're types of violins. Yes. No. I looked them up on the internet. Okay, so we're going to call Eckroth violins X and Schmidt violins Y, because you always need to know what your X and Y is, okay, in order to do this. Okay, so okay, please stop talking while I'm talking. Okay, there's 2 different kinds of violins. Okay, how many violins did we buy? We bought 7 violins, or we sold 7 violins. So how are we going to set up that equation? No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. I'm asking, we haven't even gotten to that sentence yet. Okay, right now it's just there's 2 different types of violins, and we've sold 7 of them. Okay, so my 2 different kinds are X and Y, and I've sold 7 of them. Thank you. X plus Y equals 7 violins. Write this down. Okay, now, the first type, the Eckroth ones, cost $200 each. Okay, so if $200, guys, pay attention, please. Focus on me, not on each other. Okay, so $200 for the Eckroth violins. What's that look like? 200X plus it's $300 for the Schmidt violins, so 300Y equals how much did we make? $1,600. Okay, now we need to solve it. Okay, the way I usually solve these is I like to do elimination. Remember how I talked about that being my favorite? Right? Okay, so what would we multiply the top by to be able to do this? Negative 200 to get my x's to be the same coefficient but opposite. Okay, so negative 200x minus 200y equals negative 1400. There you go. No, definitely not even close to the same thing. They're actually 2800 away from each other on the number line. Because 1400 is way down that way. Negative 1400 is way down that way. Okay, so definitely not the same thing. Okay, did somebody ask how we got that? You sure? Okay, well, we multiplied our negative 200 through to everything. Okay, so what happens to my x's? They cancel. What do I have for y's? So 100y equals 200. Divide by 100. Y equals 2. Okay, what does y stand for? The Schmidt violins, yep. So how many Schmidt violins did we sell? We sold 2 Schmidt violins. So how many Eckroth violins did we sell? 5. Because we sold a total of 7 violins. Okay, that's not so bad, right? Okay, I'll give you a clue. Most of the ones that we do today are going to be set up like this. Some of them are a little bit different, but most of them are like this. Okay. So, we've got 2 pairs of jeans. 2 different brands of jeans. Somebody give me 2 different brands of jeans. Alright, we've got Levi's And, well, I'll give you a clue. We're only selling them for $30 and $35 a piece. So, you can buy Hollister jeans for 35 bucks? Really? All right, so we got Levi's and we got Hollister jeans. Okay, what do you want your X to be? X would be your Levi's, so Y would be our Hollister. Okay, how many pairs of jeans did we sell? 32 pairs of jeans. What's that equation look like? X plus Y equals 32. Okay, so it's $30 for each pair of Levi's. What's that look like? 30X plus 35Y equals how much did we make? Okay, what do I have to do? No. What do we do? Multiply everything by negative 30. Okay, so I have negative 30x minus 30y equals negative. No. No. Thank you. Negative 960. Okay, so my x's cancel. How many y's do I have left? 5y equals 90. Divide by 5, y equals, oh, it's y. Y equals 18, so 18 what? Pairs of Hollisters. Okay, so then I have x plus 18 equals 32. So how many pairs of Levi's did I sell? 14. So 14 pairs of Levi's, 18 pairs of Hollister. Yep, we had to subtract our 18 from our 32 because our total was our 32. Sabah, can you see? You can come up here. Yeah. Then I don't want. You need to come up here so that you can see. All right. We've got some change in our pocket going jingling-a-ling. Nothing. Nobody's going to react to... It's a song! Come on! Gee. Alright. So, if I have 16 coins, okay, I've got quarters and I've got dimes. Okay? So, it says they want Q to be my quarters and D to be my dimes. So that means we're not going to use X and Y, right? Instead, we're going to use Q and D. Yep. Okay, so if I have 16 coins, what's my equation going to be? Q plus D equals 16. Q plus D, quarters, plus dimes, equals 16. Okay, now, this told us that there was $2.65. Okay, but this has 265. So how many places did they move our decimal? 2. Because 2.65 to get to 265, they moved it 2 places, right? How much is a quarter worth? 25 cents, right? So that's 0.25. So since they moved this 2 places, what do I have to move this? 2 places, so that's 25 Q plus 10 D. Okay, where did I get 25 and 10 from? Because quarters are worth 25 cents, dimes are worth 10 cents. Okay, so how are we going to go about solving this? Okay, so we'll multiply the top by negative 25. So I've got negative 25q minus 25d equals, somebody help me out, negative 400 even? Well, that's convenient. Nope. Okay, so what do I get here? Negative 15d equals negative 135? Okay, so now what do I do? Divide by negative 15. So 9 dimes. So if I've got 9 dimes and I've got 16 coins, how many quarters do I have? 7. Because 9 plus 7 gives us our 16 coins. Okay, so guys, the next one, okay, so it's, you can just plug this in. So Q plus, how many dimes did I have? 9 equals how many coins do I have? 16. So you just have to subtract. Because it's 16. It doesn't have anything to do with 9 plus 1. It's Q plus 9 equals 16. We're plugging it into this equation. No. We got dimes to be 9. Okay, let me talk. Okay, no, we got dimes to be 9, guys. 135 divided by 15, we got dimes to be 9. Then we have to plug it back into this equation. So Q plus 9, because D was 9, equals 16, because we have 16 coins. Yeah. Huh? No. Nope, this is exactly what we've been doing, guys, for 2 weeks now. Okay, it hasn't changed at all. Alright, so you're going to Redbox. Okay, your new releases are $3 and your regular movies are $2. Okay, what do you want to call your new releases? X. What do you want to call your regular movies? Y. Okay, so you've always got to pick out your X and your Y. Okay, so X plus Y equals how many movies did I rent? How many movies did I rent? Yeah, it does. We rented 5 movies. Okay, so now how much do new releases cost? So 3x plus 2y equals how much did I spend? $13. Multiply by negative 3. Equals what? Negative 15. That should be a 3. So I'm left with no. 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 Negative 1y, because 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. Equals what? Equals negative 2. Divided by negative 1. And y is 2. So we rented 2 what? Regular movies. And how many new releases? 3 new releases. Because you rented 5 movies. If 2 of them were regular movies, how many have to be new releases? 3. Okay, they're not so bad, are they? They shouldn't be too bad. All right. There's 68 questions on the final. Some of them are worth 5 points. Some of them are worth 2 points. Okay? Huh? Is this accurate? No, not anymore. This was accurate a few years ago. Since then we've revamped it. Okay, so what's my x? So what's my x? My x can be my 5 pointers. What's my y's? Okay, so my 2 pointers are my y. Okay, so x plus y is going to be, no, how many questions? 68 questions. Okay, now we go by points. How many points is x worth? So equals 250 points. Okay, so what am I multiplying the top by? Good. So negative 5x minus 5y equals negative, how much? Okay, so what do I have for y's? Negative 3y equals negative 90. So y equals positive 30, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and you can't have negative questions on the test. So if you would have gotten a negative, would that have made sense? No, so think about that when you're getting your answers. Okay, so y is worth, well, I'm saying, alright, so y is what? What does y stand for? Well, we got 30, but what does it stand for? So there's 30 2-pointers. Okay, and then we've got x plus 30 equals 68. How many 5-pointers? Yep. So x would be 38 5-pointers. All right, one that we got to write down. Okay, let's say that Verizon is going to charge you $30 plus $15 per gig of data. Okay, let's say that Sprint is going to cost you $35, but they're only going to charge you $10 per gig of data. Okay, so now we got to set up two different equations, right? Okay, and now it's kind of is a little bit different. Okay, because we're going to set up the two companies to both be y equals. Okay, so Verizon is going to be y equals $30 plus what? $15 per gig, so 15x. Anytime you've got that like per something, you got to add something on it. Not sure why some of us aren't writing this down. You're going to have questions like this. Okay, for Sprint, we're going to have y equals 35 plus 10x. Okay, so we've got to figure out when these two deals are equal. How much data are we going to use, okay, in order for these to be equal to each other? Okay, so you could, okay, but it's not going to show up on your screen very well. You're going to have to play with the window, and I'm not going to teach you guys how to figure out your window. That would be something you guys would have to figure out on your own. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so if y equals 30 plus 15x, we can slide that down here and set our two equations equal to each other. Okay, so I have 30 plus 15x equals 35 plus 10x. How am I going to solve these? Minus our 10x over there? Okay, so we can minus our 10x. I've got 30 plus equals 35. Now what? So 5x equals 5 and x equals 1. Okay, so at 1 gig of data is when you're going to have these plans be equal to each other. Huh? You can. Okay, so if we plug it in and we put 1, we've got 30 plus 15 times 1, which is $45. So at 1 gig of data, we're paying $45 for our plan, is what that's saying. Yep, we just did that right here. Yep, so we're saying that this is how much data, and this is how much we're paying. Okay, so we're paying $45 if we're using 1 gig of data. Okay, so is it horrible? No, but you've got to identify what your X and your Y is.